If you're over 70, I want you to try something right now. Stand up if you can and sit back down without using your hands. Could you do it easily or did you have to think about it? Stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what that one small test and six others actually reveal about how well you're aging. Some of the answers might surprise you, and a few might genuinely change how you think about your own health. Today, we're going through 7 real research backed signs that your body and brain are aging in a healthy direction, not just not sick, but genuinely thriving. These aren't gym bro fitness tests, and they're not about comparing yourself to how you felt at 30. They're simple, everyday markers that doctors and researchers actually use to understand long term health in older adults. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear, honest picture of where you stand and a few gentle, safe ways to strengthen any weak spots you notice along the way. Quick note before we start. This channel is for education, not diagnosis. I'm not your doctor, and nothing here replaces the person who actually knows your health history, your medications, and your specific situation. Think of this video as information to bring to your doctor, a way to ask better, more specific questions at your next visit, not a way to go around them or replace their guidance. Let's start with something researchers call the sixth vital sign, right up there with blood pressure, heart rate, and temperature. It's your walking speed. Studies in geriatric medicine suggest that older adults who maintain a steady, comfortable walking pace, not a slow shuffle, tend to have better long-term health outcomes than those who walk more slowly over time. Walking speed reflects a lot at once. It draws on your muscle strength, your balance, your heart and lung function, your joint health, and even your brain's coordination, all working together in a way that's surprisingly hard to fake. Here's the reassuring part. This isn't about racing anyone, and it's certainly not about speed for its own sake. It's about consistency and ease. If you can walk to your mailbox and back, hold a conversation the entire time, and not feel like you desperately need to sit down halfway through, that's a genuinely great sign. If you've noticed your pace slowing down noticeably over the past several months, that's worth mentioning at your next checkup, simply so your doctor has the full picture. But the next sign on this list surprises a lot of people because it has almost nothing to do with your legs at all. Your hands, specifically your grip strength. It sounds like an odd thing to measure, but researchers have found that grip strength correlates with overall muscle health throughout your entire body, not just your hands and forearms. Weaker grip strength has been associated in multiple studies with a higher risk of frailty and other health complications later in life, while stronger grip strength tends to track with better outcomes overall, almost like a quick snapshot of your whole body strength. Here's a simple, informal way to check in with yourself. Can you open a jar with a slightly stuck lid without asking for help? Can you carry a full grocery bag from the car to the kitchen in one trip? Can you twist open a stubborn bottle cap on the first try? If the answer is generally yes, your grip strength is likely holding up well. If jars and bottles have started defeating you on a regular basis, that's worth mentioning to your doctor, not because it's alarming, but because grip strength happens to be one of those things that responds really well to gentle, targeted exercise, even later in life. Now, here's a sign most people don't even think of as a health test, but it might quietly be the most important one on this entire list. Can you stand on one leg near a counter or sturdy chair for safety for about 10 seconds? This one matters more than most people realize because falls are one of the leading causes of serious injury in adults over 65, and balance is often the very first thing that quietly declines long before we notice it in everyday life. Balance isn't just about your legs. It's your inner ear working correctly, your vision picking up subtle cues, your core muscles stabilizing you, and your brain processing all of that information in real time, faster than you're consciously aware of. The good news, and it really is good news, is that balance is one of the most trainable things on this entire list. It tends to respond quickly to practice, often within just a matter of weeks, through simple things like standing exercises, Tai Chi, or even just practicing near a sturdy chair or countertop for safety a few minutes a day. We'll come back to this idea in a moment, because a later point on this list ties directly into it, and it's one I think you'll want to remember. We're about halfway through, and honestly, the next point is the one people write in and ask me about the most, because it's not physical at all. It's about what's quietly happening in your mind day to day. Let's keep going. Do you regularly do things that genuinely make your brain work? Reading something new, doing puzzles, learning an unfamiliar skill, playing an instrument, or even navigating a new app on your phone that frustrates you a little at first? Research on something researchers call cognitive reserve suggests that people who keep their brains actively and variously engaged throughout life tend to maintain sharper thinking skills for longer, even as some age related changes naturally occur in the background. The brain, much like a muscle, genuinely seems to benefit from regular use, and variety appears to matter more than raw difficulty. You don't need to grind through crossword puzzles for hours every single day. Learning to video call your grandkids for the first time, trying an unfamiliar recipe, or picking up a hobby you've genuinely never tried before, all of that counts, and counts meaningfully. The goal here isn't perfection or turning your brain into a competitive sport. It's regular, varied mental activity that keeps different parts of your mind engaged over time. Here's a quieter sign, but a genuinely powerful one. Can you manage your own daily routine? Things like bathing, dressing, cooking, managing your medications, and handling your own finances without needing regular help from someone else? Doctors refer to these as activities of daily living, and maintaining independence in them is one of the clearest overall markers of healthy aging that we have. This isn't about doing everything perfectly, and it's certainly not about refusing help when you genuinely need it. Asking for support when it makes sense is smart, not a failure of any kind. It's really about whether you can do these things when you choose to, on your own terms. If you've noticed a specific task becoming harder recently, that's genuinely useful information, and it's worth a conversation with your doctor, since sometimes small, very fixable issues, like a vision change or a medication side effect, are quietly behind it. Remember I said we'd circle back to balance? Here's the connection, and it's one that surprises a lot of people. Poor sleep is linked to worse balance, slower reaction time, and even a higher risk of falls. So sleep isn't just about feeling rested in the morning, it's actually structural to nearly everything else on this list, including several of the physical markers we've already talked about. Are you generally falling asleep within about 20 to 30 minutes of lying down, staying asleep for most of the night, and waking up feeling reasonably rested most mornings? That's a good sign. Frequent, unresolved sleep problems are common in older adults, but they're absolutely not something you just have to accept as an unavoidable part of aging. They're very treatable in most cases, and your doctor can genuinely help you figure out what's going on. And finally, maybe the most surprising sign on this entire list, and the loop I promised to close at the very start of this video: social connection, regular, meaningful contact with other people, whether that's friends, family, your community, or even a simple weekly phone call, has been linked in research to better health outcomes in older adults, including measurably better cognitive health over time. Isolation, on the other hand, is increasingly recognized by researchers as a genuine health risk in its own right, not just an emotional or lifestyle preference. So, that chat with a neighbor over the fence, that weekly call with your daughter, that walking group you show up to every Tuesday, none of that is just pleasant background noise. That's real, measurable health maintenance. So, back to that very first question: standing up without using your hands isn't just a party trick. It's a rough, real world combination of leg strength, balance, and core stability, three of the exact markers we just walked through together. If you could do it easily, that's a genuinely good sign about how you're aging. And if not, now you know exactly which of today's 7 areas to focus your attention on first. Here's what to actually do with everything we've covered today. Pick one area, not all 7 at once. Choose whichever sign felt weakest to you today and focus your energy there first, because small, consistent effort reliably beats trying to fix everything simultaneously. Bring this list with you to your next doctor's visit and say exactly what you noticed. Something like, "My grip feels weaker than it used to," or "I'm having some trouble with balance," and let your doctor guide the next steps from there. Add just one social or mental activity into your week: a phone call, a class, a puzzle, something small and repeatable rather than dramatic. And finally, always talk to your doctor before starting any new exercise routine or changing any medication, especially if you're managing existing health conditions. And this holds true even for gentle activities like simple balance training. Aging well was never about being flawless on all seven of these signs. It's about paying attention, staying engaged, and making small, steady adjustments over time. And you're already doing exactly that just by taking the time to watch this video today. If this helped you see your own health a little more clearly, hit subscribe because we walk through one of these topics together every single week. And if you'd like to go deeper on the balance and fall prevention piece we touched on today, I've got a full video on exactly that linked right here for you. Take good care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.